Good evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Carolina Panthers Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, coming at you once again here on the U to the Tube. So, I know this is kind of late, but I wanted to go ahead and get this out of the way and dive deep into this matchup. Week 11, Carolina Panthers head back home to take on the visiting Washington football team. So, this is going to be a very, very interesting but big game for Carolina. Let's take a look at this matchup. All right, take a look at the ESPN matchup predictor. 62.7% chance Carolina wins. 37% chance Washington wins, and a 0.3% chance of a tie. They got some notable names on the injury report. Tight end Ricky Seals-Jones, Shaka Toney at defensive end are both out. Cornerback Kendall Fuller is questionable. Curtis Samuel, wide receiver, is questionable. Shadiq Charles, offensive tackle, is also questionable. And we have to also look at the injury report for us. Currently, we have YGM. YGM was added to the report for Carolina with an ankle injury, but he was listed as a full participant this past Friday. We also have and Davion Nixon had a season-ending knee injury, so he's out. We have Stanley Thomas Oliver III, who was put on IR, but now is listed as questionable. They have also activated offensive lineman John Miller. Now, here's the thing. A couple of things this is making me think about. Just looking at what we have going into this. Notable thing, it's made official that Cam Newton will start this game. I mean, that's good. This is good. I did kind of have mixed feelings about this because it really made me think, do we still want to consider doing a 2-quarterback combo for this game? Because it worked so well in the Arizona game. Because like I said, that was the number one team in the NFC. Or in the NFL in general, actually. And we beat them with that. Also, you look at the offensive line that we had. Against the number 4 ranked defense, and they didn't give up a single sack. You know, how much of that do you want to change? Like I said, I understand John Miller is activated. I mean, I think it could still work. Throwing John Miller back into the lineup, maybe perhaps keep Dennis Daly. I guess you keep Dennis Daly in at left tackle. And then you have Michael Jordan, you have Pep F-line, you have John Miller, you have Taylor Moton as the offensive line. You know, that could potentially work. Or is it just one of those that you don't fix what ain't broken and keep the lineup that you have at offensive line? It's something to think about because it works so well And we have to also keep in mind the Panthers have only allowed 1 sack in the last 3 games. The last 3 games only allowed 1 sack. So the offensive line is starting to show some life in these past 3 games, which is good. And I think is going to be very key in this game. Because let's keep in mind, we are going up against the Washington team, coached by defensive-minded coach Ron Rivera. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Coach Ron Rivera, Riverboat Ron, somebody I will always have respect for. I mean, after all, he's the second coach in Panther franchise history to help lead the team to a Super Bowl appearance. Of course, the first one to do it was John Fox. I'll always have respect for Ron Rivera, for his contributions to the Panthers organization. But I gotta be honest, hearing, the press conference where he talked about how Carolina signing Cam Newton was a bold move. Riverboat Ron, come on, dude. Come on. Come on, dude. A bold move? Really? You being someone that's coached Cam Newton? Especially, you were there for that Super Bowl appearance, the same year he won MVP, same year he was voted number 1 out of 100, top 100 players in the league, and he was voted number 1. You were there, Riverboat Ron. But now you say the bold move, us signing him. If I can be honest, maybe if you did a better job of keeping Cam from playing that season where he got hurt, and he was hurt, not 100%, you should have put your foot down, but you didn't. You didn't. Now, I don't know if you're bitter in saying that being a bold move, but it's not a good look, Riverboat Ron. It's not a good look. And I'm sure a part of you wants revenge, but, to make a statement like that, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Because you have to remember, you once coached Cam Newton. And as a matter of fact, with y'all's quarterback situation, y'all had the opportunity to pick up Cam yourselves when you think about it. But you didn't. But yet, when Carolina did, it's a bold move. Yeah, I really sense bitterness in that. I really do. So, will it come back to bite him in the butt? It remains to be seen, but yeah, I kind of get that vibe from Coach Ron Rivera. Anyway, let's look at the preview for this. Now, looking at the rankings for Washington, offensively, they're a little bit better than Carolina, but not by much. They're 18th in total yards, 15th in total rushing yards, and rushing yards. They're 20th in net passing yards. They are tied for 16th in sacks allowed. They're 19th in third down efficiency. and they're 20th in points per game. So, I mean, a little bit better overall on paper as far as offense compared to Carolina's, but not that much of a difference. Defense, though, the only real thing that sticks out with the defense of Washington, they're ranked 6th in rushing yards allowed, meaning they're good at stopping the run. They're good at stopping the run. They're in the top 10 in run defense. Even now without Chase Young and just in general, they know how to stop the run. I think that says a lot. And then just looking at who they have, although I find it funny that they have both Kyle Allen and Taylor Heinicke, both who have played for Carolina. But, safe to say that Taylor Heinicke is the starter. But, I mean, looking at their roster, I mean, Antonio Gibson, is their main leading rusher. You got Terry McLaurin, who I think will probably be one of the main threats in the wide receiving game, to be honest with you. I mean, Curtis Samuel really, hasn't done much. And Ricky Seals-Jones, the tight end, he's out. So, I mean, really the only ginormous threat at wide receiver that it seems for the Washington team is Terry McLaurin. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned with Washington's offense. I am curious to see how their defense does against Carolina's offense. But with Cam Newton starting, would think on paper will make our offense look better, and just with how he performs. I still feel like we may still see PJ Walker play as well, because I do think a 2-combo quarterback system might work like it did in the Cardinals game. And I just feel like you got to really consider that, even for this game. But I'm not too concerned. And even when you look at the rankings for the Washington defense, I mean, 27th in total yards a game. So they're 6th in rushing defense, 30th in passing yards allowed. So Carolina needs to go in. They need to go in on the passing game. They're tied for 20th in sacks. And they're ranked 32nd. They're ranked 32nd in third down efficiency on defense. They're last in the league. Last. Tied for 20th with takeaways and 28th in points allowed per game. Realistically, Carolina should destroy this team. But then again, look what happened in the Giants game. We got demolished in the Giants game. Could this very well be a trap game? I mean, after all, we lost to the New York Giants. And then we turn around and we beat the number 1 Arizona Cardinals, like by 24 points. We beat them by 24 points. Could this Washington game be a trap game? It's a much weaker team. And like I said, some of these numbers really jump out. 30th in passing defense, 32nd in third down efficiency on defense. They're the last in the league. Like, realistically, Carolina should destroy this team, at least by 20 or more points. But you never know. You never know. Now, I understand that, Carolina's gotten a little bit more healthy, especially, last week. But I really feel like they're in position to get a nice little win streak going before the bye. There's a big win against Arizona. This is the best time to follow up. And another thing to be concerned with, Carolina hasn't really done that well lately taking care of home field. They haven't. Because you have to remember, lost to the Eagles, lost to the Patriots, lost to the Vikings, and those were all home games. Those are all home games. So we haven't really done a good job protecting home field. So this is a very important game. And this is Cam Newton's first start back on Carolina. It's a lot of pressure. But we have to look at who we're going up against. And I just really hope that it's not a trap game. But it could be. We've already got blasted by the Giants. So the only thing I'm saying is go in there, focus, and get the job done. Don't let up. Be aggressive from start to finish. Obliterate this team. Don't get lax. Don't get comfortable. Obliterate this team. Especially with Ron Rivera coaching, he's going to want to go in and get revenge and upset this Panthers team. And not only that, we have a chance to really get off to a hot start because remember, Thursday night, the Patriots demolished the Falcons 25-0. So we have a chance to really move up. And if we can get 6-5, it's a big step. And not to mention, we need to be able to follow up and build momentum after the victory against Arizona. That's another key important thing. It's not going to look good, Carolina losing to Washington after beating the number one ranked Arizona Cardinals. It's not going to be a good look. So, main keys to the game, if you ask me, for Carolina on offense, they need to go in hard. Joe Brady, you need to really be aggressive. You're going up against the defense that is, number one, ranked 30th in passing yards allowed. So, open up that passing game. Get the RPOs out, but open up that passing game. Now, they are 6th in run defense. So, keep that in mind, Joe Brady. But they are ranked 30th in passing defense. You need to go aggressive with that. We have the weapons for it. So, I say, honestly, and then, you got Cam Newton. You even got P.J. Walker who can sling it and can make the throws. Carolina offense needs to air it out. Now, don't forget, establish a good run. Christian McCaffrey, Amir Abdullah, Chuba Hubbard, work that RPO as well. Offensive line, just do exactly what you did last week. And even just in general, y'all only gave up 1 sack in 3 games. Build on that. Keep that consistency going. It's very important. But air it out. Air it out. The Washington team struggles defending the pass, and they struggle on third downs. They're in the bottom on third down efficiency on defense. Carolina offense, Joe Brady, y'all need to exploit that and go aggressive. In situations where you need a certain amount of yards to get the first down on third down, get the yards. Get the yards. Do what you got to do. No crazy gimmicky plays, but be aggressive and use what works. Adjust what isn't working. Be aggressive. You have an opportunity to really exploit this defense and air it out. I really want to see Carolina offense air it out. Establish a good run, but air it out. They struggle defending the pass. Challenge them on that. Challenge them on that. And then on defense, do like they usually do on defense. Carolina's ranked second in defense. Just continue. Phil Snow, you're doing good. Just continue to dial up the packages. Really pressure Taylor Heineke. Really get in his face. It's going to be really, really important to really dial up that pressure against Taylor Heineke. Looking at his stats, 2,184 yards. He's got a pretty decent completion percentage at 65.7%. 12 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. He's been sacked 19 times. So I really, really want to see more of the aggressiveness and really dialing up the pressure, disrupting him, and make it hard for him to throw or run on y'all. And then, like I said, at wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, big priority. In the rushing game, Antonio Gibson's their leading rusher. It seems he's been getting the biggest amount of the load. And just defend the run. And then, on defense, the only person that really stands out on Washington's defense, you got Kendrick Fuller, you got Bobby McCain, who has 2 interceptions. You do have Jonathan Allen, who has 6 sacks, so definitely don't want to sleep on the interior of the Washington D. Montez Sweat, somebody to look out for on the D-line. He has 4 sacks. And, those are really the main people on defense that really stick out. Cole Holcomb, is their leading tackler. Of course, Landon Collins. You don't want to sleep on him. But like I said, those are some notable names. But like I said, the 2 main things that stick out, they struggle with defending the pass and they struggle on third downs. We need to really, really exploit that. To be honest with you, score prediction, I would say 31-10. Panthers. I think the team should be capable of winning by at least 20 points or more. I'm predicting 31-10. Carolina Panthers get this victory. There's just too many factors in this matchup that should really point in Carolina's favor. And main thing on offense, like I said, Cam Newton, don't turn over the ball. And remember, keep this in mind. We don't necessarily need to see Cam throw for 400, 500 yards. As long as he doesn't turn the ball over, makes the good, accurate throws, make the plays necessary, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I still see Cam Newton still being eased back into the system. And this is why I do expect to see PJ Walker. But we'll see. But we know for sure Cam Newton is starting. We know that for sure. And if they can just keep the offense out there and let the defense rest, capitalize, score points, I really believe this should be, I'm not going to say an easy win, but it should be a definite win for Carolina. So, main keys, going over the main keys again. Carolina offense needs to be aggressive and air it out, especially air it out. Carolina also needs to be able to get pressure on Taylor Heineke. They need to really go hard and dialing up the pressure. And then, main thing, get off the field. Defense gets them off the field. Offense capitalizes consistently. So I really want to see some great, consistent scoring drives from Carolina. But that's pretty much all that I really have to say. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Like I said, this is a big deal because this is Cam Newton's first Carolina Panther home game since his return. He's going up against his old coach in Ron Rivera. And, Ron Rivera, I could literally see this as a revenge game. And, there's a lot of notable players, on the Washington team that have played with Carolina. So, if anything, just hope this isn't a trap game because it won't look good if it is a trap game and Carolina falls. But I'm confident after a big win against Arizona, I'm confident they can follow up and get another win back home. So, 31-10 is my prediction. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are, what your predictions are. What do you think about this matchup? Like I said, Washington is 3-6. Carolina, 5-5. But let me know what y'all think about this matchup. Do you think it could be a trap game? How do you feel about Coach Ron Rivera going up against his former MVP, Cam Newton? How do you think Cam Newton will do? Do you see him taking the biggest majority of the snaps? Do you see quarterback combo with him and PJ Walker? Do you think that will happen? Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank you so much for watching. This has been another Carolina Panthers Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see you soon. Peace.